Good morning. I believe we're here. I hope we're here. I have no idea if we're here. I'm actually going to check. I'm that nervous, Dan. I'm just going to check.
Well, the internets have not been friendly to you today.
What? No, she has not, by my friend. No, we're here now, which is good. We are here, which is awesome. Good morning, everybody. It is Carry the 4, Divide by 3, Tuesday, May 30th. It actually puts it out to... very exciting. Shirley Lindsay's birthday. It's my mom's birthday in 90 days on August 28th. So whatever your face decides to do today, should you join us for Fight Club at, 9 o'clock at KWFightClub.com, that could be a closing table on Shirley's birthday. It's very exciting. We do have Dan O'Halloran here. We're going to talk about, you are the final installment. You were wondering if you were the first one. I'm like, no, we're at the end of May. It's Mega Agent May. We're all wrapped up. So we're going to talk to Dan O'Halloran about real estate on the west coast of New Hampshire in just a second. We're going to remind you of what is going on today now that we finally got to the internet. Thank God. We've got, right after this, KWFightClub.com. We're going to be in group lead generation. And above and beyond that, it's just really cameras on, microphones off. We're making calls. We're having conversations that are going to nurture your people forward. It's going to add people to your database and could turn into finances for you and your loved ones in about 90-ish days. So that's super important. We do a post game at 11 o'clock. Join us for that. And then if you are a dual career agent or you're still looking for your pants and your wallet and your dignity because it was a long weekend, I appreciate that. There's also group coaching tonight at 6 o'clock delivered by the one and only Tiffany Hampton. She is our regional productivity coach. So there's options all over the board today. But we are going to get into it. Welcome in, Dan. I wasn't sure where you would be, so I did double check beforehand, which is really funny. Ironic now that you think about it, that I was making sure you'd be ready to go at 8:30, and I wasn't ready to go at 8:30. It is the constant wrestling match with all of the tech. So I had to do an update on Ecamm, and then Ecamm's like, we don't think you're a real person. And I'm like, I don't feel like a real person right now, but here we are. So
we have a new chicken. So
we do. Let's talk about it real quick. I was telling Dan the story for even before COVID, when I would have people in my office doing a one-on-one, I'd be waiting for the door knock at like 1:30 p.m. You were my 1 o'clock. I'm waiting for somebody to knock on the door at 1:30, and then the door wouldn't get knocked, and then I would realize, oh crap, they're waiting online. So I finally had, and it was one of those original old school, like the first ever Alexa. She died before the holiday. So she started going off at like 1:30 last Wednesday. And I was like, Alexa, stop. And she shut off for 2 seconds and she turned back on. I did the hard reset. I did a million different things. She wasn't working. So I went online. I had to get a brand new Alexa. They have a children's edition, which is very exciting. Dan was very quick to remind me, Tim, that's not a chicken, it's an owl. But if you know who I am, I have a poultry fetish. So everything's a chicken, Daniel. So we have a meeting chicken now. This is the new meeting chicken. We haven't named him or her yet, yet. So we'll find out what's happening. We'll name the meeting chicken. And yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. Hopefully that works later on today. Speaking of working, can you bring everybody up to speed and sort of, I've been asking everybody in May, all of our mega agents that have their own offices, like how you got here and then how it got to the point that it was a natural fit. Now, obviously for you, you're way on the West Coast. We didn't have any brick and mortar out there. It was more of a natural fit, but there wasn't necessarily the opportunity to do that with your last brand. So just talk to us about getting here and how this has made sense and how it's worked for you. And I'll blame your greatness too on, of course, Christina, the better half of your team. Yeah.
So let's talk about geography. We're not on the West Coast. We're in the West Coast of New Hampshire.
You're out there. You're the furthest west that our footprint goes. So you're the Western Wall. Yes.
Well, yeah, more or less. So Interstate 89, New London, 30 minutes south of Lebanon, Upper Valley, Hanover, that area. Our lakes are cleaner than Winnipesaukee, much better for your investment.
I love all of this. I want a three-way cage match. I want you, Troy, and Dow all in a cage so you can all fight about the greatness of your footprints.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you get out of the water by us. You don't smell bad. Nothing tried to eat you. I mean, it's kind of nice. So, and our cost per foot of waterfront's dramatically stronger and higher than everywhere else in the state. So there you go.
So if you're looking for affordable waterfront in New Hampshire, you should head over and talk to you guys.
You probably should go to northern Maine.
Yes, where you guys bought, of course, yes.
So
even you didn't buy one there. Yeah, that makes sense. Go ahead. Yep.
So yes, I've been in real estate since 2005. And then the company I was with ended up closing down. In 16, I joined Sotheby's in 17 because I was curious about what that was like. It didn't rock my world. And then I probably have my dates wrong. 15, 16 was Sotheby's, and then 17 was KW. But the culture and fit was not there at the brokerage I was at. I like control. I like the team, family environment. The firm I was at was a small real estate company that was like mom and pop. Everyone took care of each other. I wanted that culture, that vibe again. And when I was at Sotheby's, I didn't really get that feeling. And then I looked at where business was coming from. A lot of it was being generated from my network, not a lot from there. So when you looked at commission splits and stuff like that, the ROI wasn't making sense. So my wife, Christina, and I talked for a while, trying to figure out what's our identity, where we're going to go, and looked at, do we just start our own brokerage? I think we talked to Nate and Adam Dow for like multi-hour sit downs to talk things out. And it was really tempting to start your own and not have to pay franchise stuff or anything like that. But the more we looked at it, the return, the learning experience, the network, the sheer compliance and legal and brokerage help that we get made all the difference in the world for us to switch. So in 17, we switched and I joined as an independent agent, apparently starting a team under my name, which I was really weird about, and had a hard time just saying, yes, okay, let's go under O'Halloran Group.
Yeah.
I've always kind of been one of those, I think you call them secret agents that don't really want to tell anyone what they do.
Yeah, I don't want to bother anybody. I don't want to help anybody. I don't want anybody else's money. Yeah, correct. Yes. Yeah.
So I'm a definite secret agent offender. So we went down the path of, all right, I'm going to do this mega agent thing, and maybe I'm going to start a team. I had no idea what I was doing. I hired an agent, a couple agents that wanted to work with me, but I didn't know what I was doing. And so we had a little churn in the beginning, finally got an admin, finally hired the right people, finally my wife came on full time. And it all started adding up and being really wonderful. The part that I realized and that made sense to me from a team perspective was that, so I was an independent agent since 2005, right? So when you're doing a high volume of sales, you can't be everyone to everybody. And at some point, your relationship, your health, or your business fractures. And you need leverage support to provide a really great customer service experience and to really, truly take care of the people in your life. And that is what led us to the team conversation, the team thought process, and the team adoption of how we should run things. And that really has worked out well for us. Not that it's easy, but it's provided a much better experience for our clients too. So,
well, and earlier when you were talking about, wanting control, how much of that is a struggle when you are building your team? As you are starting to build your team, you have to have the fortitude to let go of things.
Oh, it's super hard, and the trust that we have to give our team members of, here's someone I've known since I could breathe, and please take care of them and help them buy a house. Yeah, it's really hard. But everyone communicates really well on our team, and 99% of the time, it's amazing.
So when you guys are repeat offenders every Thursday, you join us on Fight Club. I appreciate that. What is the expectation of the group to be in your office? And I know people feel differently about this. I know 4,000% of the workforce is working from home now since COVID. But the thing that we lost during COVID, when people weren't in the actual same shared space, was that lean back. Hey, Dan, you know what I was just thinking? Because when I'm doing that at my home office, I'm like, oh, I'll write that down. I'll tell Dan later. And then I never have that conversation. And I think the give and take of just creativity sort of gets lost if you're not spending time together. So what's the benefit of office time? What's the expectation of the team being together? And not in a mandatory or punitive kind of way, but just we know that this is a benefit when we're breathing the same air.
Yeah, I mean, we want our agents in as often as they can. And I apologize, I have really bad allergies in the morning.
Yeah, so. They said today was the last day for tree pollen. I don't know how they drop a flag in the ground and they're like, well, it'll be gone tomorrow, but I'll be on a respirator in August. It's ragweed for me. Is going to be the killer for me.
Air for me, pretty much. So, so as far as time in the office goes, like we have, for the way our team runs, we have biweekly meetings. I have biweekly one-on-ones every Tuesday morning with our team, rotating through. So, and we essentially want them here as often as they can, but obviously, people flow in, flow out. I agree with you. When people are in the office, the collaboration, creativity, and quick answers is really great. And you can discover a much better, faster, easier response to a situation that arises by crowdsourcing with people that you trust and are in your work family. So.
Yep. So what were some of the, because the Red Book is full of them, right? And I know that you're, I appreciate the transparency you're going to share in the next 2 minutes. What was your biggest mistake as you guys started to build your team? And I say that inclusively because Christina came in later, right? So, which was probably a blessing because I think she's probably a little more better at dotting the I's and crossing the T's.
Oh, yeah. She was, we were did okay, not that great. And then she came on board and it was like, oh, damn, here we go.
Yes. Oh, my God. This is what it feels like when it's working. Yeah.
Yeah.
So for you getting started because you said you brought on an agent first.
Yeah.
So
I had an agent that hunted me down and begged to be on our team and wanted to join. And I said, okay, I don't know what I'm doing, but sure, come on board. And I'm being really transparent with you. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. This team thing sounds like a different language and I'm going to try to figure it out. If you can be patient with that, great. She didn't work out. Her ethics and everything, which it wasn't a good thing. So we fortunately parted ways amicably, and which was wonderful. And I hired an admin, which was great. And that was a long year of the admin coming to my house, kitchen table.
Yes, yes.
Literally, okay. And we were really productive. I don't remember what I did for sales that year, but I don't know. It was over 50 transactions and 14 mil, or I don't know. Yeah. But it was a really great year, and it provided the financial leverage to then continue to grow and step back. And then we were able to bring on, my wife came on. She pushed and literally, it's funny, Josh forgets this all the time, but she's the real reason he's on the team. She's really? Like, you need to take him out for a beer right now, and he should join our team, and he's not happy where he's at, and get him on the team.
Yeah.
And so went out for a beer with Josh, and
the rest is history. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, which is great. It was funny, Lori, when she joined our team, she was at Coldwell Banker, and we did an incognito showing at one of my listings, and talked out everything.
That's amazing. Yeah.
But yeah.
So you talked about that, the first person that jumped on your team and how your ethos ultimately wasn't in alignment. How are you now identifying somebody who is going to uphold your standard? We always say when, leadership exists when you leave the room. So, and you've been very fortunate that you guys, the two of you, have been able to go on vacation and you get back and the office is still standing. So, how much of that do you get to blame on the people that you've surrounded yourself with?
A lot of it.
Yeah, right.
A lot of it. I think it's, Christina is a big factor in our hiring process. And I can't make any claim there at all. And it's really, really vetting and having really clear, transparent conversations with everybody about our expectations business-wise.
Yeah.
And we hire very slowly too. Where, could we add someone? Sure. Do we want to? I don't know. Like our team environment is more important than anything, than any numbers. So.
Sure. Yeah, because you could, well, and we see that so often. We have so many stories historically within the entire ecosystem of KW where people continue to load up with physical talent. And it might be to the detriment of the culture of their team, right? And the feeling that people have. And it's not the argument, because Gary would argue this, like big isn't bad, but growing for the sake of just growing is not the reason to do it. It's to purposely do it for leverage, because when Josh comes in, his feeling might be, well, okay, so I'm just getting here, and then Lori, I'm the newest person on the team, everything's going to fall on my plate, and that's really not how it should work, right? There should be equal leverage for everyone on the team. That should be the mindset behind it. So how do you, with that, the balance of shameless plug for June 13th, we're doing Quantum Leap, and that's where Gary really talks about, the mythology of, or the myth understanding of work-life balance. There's no such thing. It's work-life counterbalance. We're making decisions every day. How do you make sure that everyone on your team gets an opportunity to have their time away and have it truly leveraged, so they could, if they wanted to, they could go on vacation and throw their phone in the lake?
We hunt them down and pressure them to take the time. They don't always take us up on it. Yeah. But we're generally pushing them to step away and try to take time off and put me on their out of office and let's get rolling. Sometimes it doesn't work well. Like I've had someone go away and I nuked a sale. It wasn't. I
love this. Fault, tell me all about this. What did you do?
I don't know. People got weird and decided to part ways with us, and I think it was because they thought they could get a better deal on a house. But I've been blamed for killing it. Joking.
I love that. Well, as a great leader, you're taking all the blame, right? Yes.
Of course.
Yes.
Yep. I had a better haircut. So.
Extreme ownership.
Yep.
So I wanted to touch base with you too before we wrap up. You have a phenomenal, and I talked to Adam Dow about this earlier in the month. He has a 1K. Your group has an ultra 1K. So, and it is actually going to wrap up tomorrow. So tell everybody what you guys do during the month of May, and make sure that they know they still have a chance to just get involved, whether it just is monetarily and not physically. Talk to us about that.
So you can register online, ultra1k.com. It's $10 to register. We take credit cards, all that jazz. By entering, you can win a paddleboard. So you don't have to even exercise. You can just register, and we're doing a drawing tomorrow to see if you win. So essentially, Adam had the 1K. Ultra 1K was available, and I just laughed when I saw that and said, well, obviously, we have to one-up Adam on this.
I'm actually going to go on GoDaddy today and buy you betterthandows.com. Because why not? Go ahead.
Yeah. So we're going to try to do an in-person, and then COVID happened. We switched to doing virtual, and it just really took off. We also have really great relationships with a lot of our business partners and business owners in town, and we're able to fundraise a lot of money just by saying, hey, this is what we're trying to do. We want to support our food pantries. Would you be interested in supporting? We'll do a promotion campaign to help get your business exposure, all that jazz. Became really turnkey. So what was it? 8,000 the first year that we raised,
wow.
15,000
awesome.
The second year, 19,000 last year, and right now we're over 24,000.
That's amazing. Good for you.
It's kind of wild.
That is awesome. And it's for local food pantries, or is there one in particular that you're helping?
No, there's 3 local food pantries in our region that basically support all the towns that we sell houses in. Yep. So we want to try to figure out a way to really give back to our community in the way that's most impactful. And at $6.50 for 12 eggs, it's crazy. So if we can support feeding people, and I love food, and we'll go anywhere for a good meal and drive hours if we have to.
Sure.
Let's support people so they can at least provide food on the table for their families and kids.
It is fascinating. Like you said, you sort of got your legs swept out from underneath you during COVID. And what was fascinating during COVID is even when people thought the world was ending initially, right, when it first kicked in that Friday the 13th, ironically, so many people, no matter where they are financially, are starving to do something good. So it's your numbers are phenomenal. It's not shocking that it's grown year over year. And it's also, even during COVID, that you guys did what, $8 or $9 grand, you said?
Yeah,
in that first year.
It was $8,000. Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. That's amazing. So you guys are currently at 24,000, and people can go to ultra1k.com.
Yep. Yeah. So that's the site. Very easy to do. The thing that was really cool about it too is we kind of turned it into like explorer area. So all of our team did routes. So there's 5 routes that you can do if you're looking for, like, you don't know where to do a 1K. That might be more exciting than walking down the road. Right. Yep. So we have 5 routes that people can do in the Sunapee region to explore and see really beautiful vistas and have a great experience outside. And so a lot of people have used this as an excuse or a reason to get outside every single day in May, which has been kind of fun. So it's kind of getting people out in the community, getting them outside, getting healthy. The weather's nice. So it's been kind of awesome in that regard. So tomorrow, 4:30 to 6:30, we're doing a big barbecue, raffle prizes. There's a local buffalo farm and grass-fed beef operation, all natural, awesome farming culture.
Yeah.
Yankee Farmer Market. They're actually providing like really amazing burgers for us to cook up tomorrow. Awesome. Yeah, so it should be a good time. So
will that be at your headquarters?
Yeah, it'll be right at our office on Main Street, New London.
Which is amazing because it's located right across the street from your friends.
Yes, the blue friends across the way.
The blue friends across the way. Invite them over for a burger.
Yeah.
Yep.
A
Why
tasty
not?
treat.
Why not? Kill them with kindness. That's awesome. So to be clear, somebody could get this in on their bike. They could get it in on a kayak. They could swim it if they want to. They could do it on a treadmill. You're not really worried about it?
Generally, we prefer that it's feet that are carrying you forward, whether it's a treadmill or not. So but we'll take exercise and activity and people being out.
So ultra1k.com. Maybe later this afternoon, you can also go to betterthandows.com. I'll look into that real quick for you because I'm just going to get it just to get it because why not?
I think you should do the better place.
Thebetteronk.com. Yes. Yeah. Appreciate it, sir. Have a wonderful day.
No
go grab your what do you take for your allergies? You need something.
I have inhalers.
You're starting to swell up on us. What's that?
None of it works. None of it works. Awesome. Dan O'Halloran, thanks so much. Ultra1k.com if you want to get involved with the O'Halloran group. And we'll see you in and around. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Cool.
Take care, guys.